the game today, Ghana Black Stars held by Namibia. Tell me your thoughts about the game.
Well, if you really looked at the game, you could see two different teams playing, two different, teams of Black Stars playing. We saw a different team, the most shambolic team in the first half. And then the second half was quite an improvement. I don't know if it was because of the players that they brought in or the energy that they came in with. Because right in the second half, we had Jonathan Sowa coming in. He brought in so much energy. Usman Bukari came in knowing that he's not a starter. He always comes in and brings in the energy. He did that for us. And Nyama, of course, he did what we expected for us. I don't know if you could turn that around and then give what we give in the second half, in the first half, and even possible in the entire game. Because if you are going to the AFCON with what we saw in the first half, then I don't think in the last AFCON we got a point. So if you are taking that first half today, AFCON, I think we are even living into a point. But I think we should work on the energy. It's all about the energy and staying in the game. Coach said we stayed in the game in the first half, so we were lucky. But staying in the game and then getting nothing, playing nothing, is just a calamity. You stay in the game, you take your chances, you utilize them, and then that's it. So I think, yes, the second half was better. You should identify it's not just about players who are able to play, players who are able to give the energy. Because you could tell that there are some players who come in pitch and then they affect the performance of the others and they all start performing. So if you have those players, why don't you feel them and wait for 60, 70 players to bring them in? Yes, so that's my problem, because if you have to do like this with Egypt, Cape Verde, even Mozambique, by the time you bring them in, you might be punished by 2 or 3 goals and it's dead. You don't expect Usman Bukari and then the others to come in. Over 10, you being down by 3 goals. So I think we should starting well is key in AFCON, because in AFCON, if you be like, oh, you are not the old time Brazil that would change things quickly for your side. It's a young team. If they are down by 2 goals or more, they are going to be downgraded. Yes, and so I think we start well. We bring in energy. We bring players that have that kind of telepathy. You could tell that in some games, if you have Next Nyama, Antoine Semenyo, Osman Bukari in that game, you could tell that there's kind of telepathy in that forward. There's a chemistry in that forward. We should forget about, you have this player in form, we should forget about that. There are some kind of players who, that when they are playing, we thought that, yes, these are the guys who really want to represent Ghana in the competition. So that's the kind of players you're going. We should forget about, and we missing some players. No, Ghana, we're playing without those players, and we can still play without them, whether lose, draw, or win. So I think we should go in the energy. We need players who could give us the energy from minute 1 to minute 90. If we are to be underdogs in first half, we don't know what might happen. You be underdogs and you might be 2 or 3 goals down. So we should start from the blast of the whistle to the final whistle. So that's it.
All right. So few days to the AFCON. What do you expect from the Ghana Black Stars, and where do you think you'll finish?
I've always been saying this, that my expectation is quite low. I expect us to just get out of the group.
That's all?
Yes, that's my expectation, because in the previous one, you couldn't get out of the group. You were the bottom placed. In the next one, what do you expect to do? Get out of it, and you've achieved.
All right. So with the performance today, which player do you think, this one has sealed his place in the Ghana Black Stars starting lineup?
Well, when Mohamed Salisu came in, we thought that there was a difference in the back line. Though we didn't consider in the first half, but when he came in, I think there was a 2v1 there where he blocked the shot from within the yes. So if you have such a player, he's bulky, he's good on the ball, then yes, he really made me happy watching him play. But apart from me, I think some of the players did well, but then Mohamed Salisu was my standout player.
So you feel that he should be number 1 in the starting lineup sheet?
Mohamed Salisu is competing with Alexander Jiko and then Amate. Well, Amate is always, living with the name that he had for Ghana in last 2, competitions or something. Yes, now.
So, based on what you're saying, your preferred starting pairing in the Ghana Black Stars defense would be Jiko and Mohamed Salisu?
Of course, yes. If you have Jiko and then Salisu, I think it's going to work off. Amate, I think we should start going off Amate's boot. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Ghana Black Stars held by Namibia. What's your thought?
Well, I think it was a shambolic performance from the team overall. We played terribly in the first half. second half it improved, but it wasn't too convincing. And if you judge from what we've seen in the last couple of years from this Black Star team, they continue to, dampen the hopes of Ghanaians that the team can get any better. The transitions, the passing lanes, goal scoring opportunities, the profiling, and even the selection of the players. The team seems to lack balance with each and every substitution the coach makes. And if you're a team and you lack balance, it means that the opponents are going to thrive on those weaknesses and loopholes to punish you. Namibia may not take advantage of it. On a good day, Peter Shalulile, Petro Shitembe should have punished us. If it's not them going to play against Cape Verde, going to play against Egypt, Mohamed Salah and the likes will take advantage of those few opportunities that they have and punish you. So the team seriously needs to improve.
Right. Do you think Grace Houghton will adopt a different approach into the AFCON? Because we've seen that Ghana Black Stars struggled in the first half and the second half they seem to improve. Do you think Grace Houghton will continue with the trend or take a different approach going to the tournament?
Well, as it stands now, it looks like he's going to try a different approach because the approach he set up today woefully failed him. In the second half, he wanted to play two men up front.
Yeah, this is not the first time.
Yes, and it's going to happen again. And for me, if you are going to a tournament and you don't have the right system in place, it's going to affect you unless you are going to just ride on luck to get into. But I always say that luck is also a dividend of sweat. If you don't sweat enough, the lucky moment will not emerge. So he's going to dilly-dally until we find the right, game plan for our games. Just like it happened to us at the 2015 AFCON, we lost our first game. We bounced back with a different style of play when Avram Grant decided to just change the total dynamics. Hopefully, this could probably work for us, but I don't see how this team is going to, progress or even change the way that they play and perform with just about 5 days before the tournament begins, or 6 days before Ghana plays the first game of the tournament.
So you're not expecting much?
No, I'm not expecting much. Maybe just the progression into the round of 16. That's all.
All right. So final question. Which players do you think have sealed their spot in the first team?
Well, I think Ashmeri Majid has sealed.
He should start.
Yeah, he should start. I think someone like Daniel Amate, Salisu, Jiku. I always prefer that these three players probably play together in a three-back, but we don't have the wing-backs to support.
What about attack?
Well, in attack, still Jordan Ayew is going to be there. Kudus Mohammed is going to be there, and trust me, if Antoine Semenyo returns fit, he's going to be there, and Iñaki Williams. So these four would just be our men in attack for me.
All right, thank you very much. Held by Namibia, what do you think about the game?
I wasn't impressed with our stature on the African continent and going into a tournament that we've been chasing for 41 years. I was expecting something that would give us hope, that would give the Ghanaian populace hope. But it seems that we have one persistent problem, that is in the two boxes that we attack and defend. We don't convert the chances that we create, and we seem to concede a lot of chances against us when opposition come at us, and it's been a persistent problem, and I wasn't impressed.
All right, so going to the AFCON, we just have a few days to the AFCON. What do you think needs to change?
We need to gag our defense box very well, and we need to convert our chances as much as they come. But it's been persistent under Chris Houghton, and if I'm being honest, if I'm being a bit honest without being patriotic, Chris Houghton has a lot of work to do in the short space of time to make sure that going into this particular tournament, our two boxes are well secured, and then we have the firepower up front.
Yeah, finally, what are expectations? Where do you think Ghana will reach in the AFCON?
We are a powerhouse on the African continent. We are 4 times African champions. Every tournament that we go to, we expect to do well. Our last appearance, AFCON, was a disgrace. We got kicked out in the group stages. This time around, I expect us to do well. I expect us to go outside the top, group stages into the round 16, and then we see what we can get from that zone upwards. The team needs to do well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.